Well, now we are in one of the famous and old parts of Tabriz, because in Tabriz we lost our history, we lost our main places after the earthquake, which happened in 1779. And after this earthquake, we lost most of the things, also the population killed. It was said that near to about 60% of the population was killed in this earthquake. Yeah, that was a very bad earthquake. And after that, they started to renovate all Tabriz. And now I can say Tabriz is a new city. Tabriz is a new city. And because of that, here was restored. In Tabriz, we have two old places left from the earthquake. One is this one, which 15 to 20% of this place is original. And Tabriz Citadel or Ark of Tabriz, which is about near to 60% of that is original. The other parts restored. And now we will see the original part, which is covered with the lovely, beautiful turquoise color and blue color tiles inside. Here was the original name of here was Mozaffariye Mansion or complex. And the name of the king was Jahan Shah. He was very rich and also very strict in the religion, strict Muslim. That's why he ordered something unique in the world like this. But he had no clue about what that should look like. As I told you, this complex also was the end of the Tabriz city. And Tabriz city was tried to finish in this complex. And that was a part of the Grand Souk, Grand Bazaar of Tabriz, which is famous in the world. And that's coming through that part and finishing in this complex, which was the end of this city and end of this complex. And if we start to walk from that part, we can arrive to the original covered roofed Bazaar of Tabriz, which we will see later today.
You mean that this complex had an entrance to the
Grand Souk, Grand Bazaar, exactly. Because also some caravans try to arrive Tabriz from this place. If they're coming from Tehran or Kazvin, the main Silk Road, they will arrive to here, which we had some caravans rise nearby this complex, and they can stay there during the night before arriving to the Grand Souk.
Interesting.
In this complex that we can see, we will see the original tiles. As you see, all these original tiles. And these are original tiles left from the earthquake. And after the earthquake, we just have this part as original part which left. Other parts restored later after the earthquake. In Iran, we have two types of tiles. One is normal tile, which they are a square shape. You just add some paintings on that and then put it on the oven, and that's ready. Cook them. Another one is a mosaic tiles. All these tiles are mosaic tiles. I mean, we have the pattern, and then we cut all these tiles in small pieces, as you see here, small by small, and look like a puzzle, put them together and stick them on the wall. These shapes all made after small, tiny type of tiles that I told you, which is more difficult than normal square tile. In Iran, in all mosques, we have mosaic patterns, mosaic tiles, look like Isfahan, Yazd, and other cities. But two mosques, this one and Yazd Friday Mosque, all is made with the mosaic tiles. In other mosques, if you go, you can see the mihrab or entrance gate or some small parts with the mosaic, not everywhere. But Yazd Friday Mosque and Tabriz Blue Mosque, these two, made because all over that, made with the mosaic tiles. The name of the king, Jahan Shah, over there written in the yellow color, in the center of the entrance gate, and that was the name of the king who ordered and paid for this complex. Well, we are inside the Blue Mosque now, as you see. Inside the Blue Mosque, we can see some pictures or paintings, I can call them, right after the earthquake. Because as I told you, outside in the earthquake, something around near to 80% of this complex damaged and destroyed, which we can see on these paintings, these two, for example. Just the entrance gate in here left originally, and some parts of the base of the pillars. The other parts is totally ruined and destroyed by the earthquake. And something around near to 1910, they start to restore here in the time of the Pahlavi, second Pahlavi. And the dome and also the park start to restore. These are the restored thing. After the restoration, you can see. And this person, Mr. Memara, this guy, is here. He's working on the dome and restoring the dome. And exactly 10 years before the revolution, I can say, this dome was finished and restored by this person, Mr. Reza Memara, that we can see his group and himself here, as you see.
10 years before the Islamic Revolution.
I mean, that was in 1969 or 70, that was finished. The whole dome and the whole part was finished as a restoration. But still now restoration is going on, as you see, because it's not finished. And restoring here is too difficult, because everywhere we have different patterns and different places. And because we didn't have the picture of this complex, that's why we cannot do that very fast. For example, we don't know that place, how it looked like originally, or that part, how it looked like originally. Restoration here is going on italic type. In italic type, we have to show original and artificial part, I mean restored part. Original part, like this one, will have a lighter color, darker color, but the restored part, like that one, we have the lighter color. They want to show the difference between original and restored part. This is the purpose of restoration. They're showing the old difference. But the original one is a stone, but the restored one is a painting, because we cannot find these stones and that color now already. Part of the mosque, this one. This was a place which was open for the public people. They could come inside, pray, rest, sit here. But the second part, which we will go after here, that was a private section, as you see in front of us. Here, the dome, which is restored, as I told you, right before the Islamic Revolution of Iran. This is the second biggest dome in Iran, as a view of height and diameter. I mean, the sum of both is the second one. The first one is the Sultaniya Dome of Zanjan, second is here, and third is Isfahan Mosque of Imam Mosque of Isfahan. Lower part of everywhere, as you see, lower part, we have the same pattern, keep going, with the color of blue. That's why we call here a blue mosque. But the top part, we have the mosaic tiles with the flowers, which is lotus flower. Some writings of Quran. We have 99 names of God, because in Islamic culture, for the God, we have 99 names. We call that Asma-i Husna. If you count these different names everywhere in this mosque, they will end in the 99. I mean, we have all the 99 names here. And the dome itself, it had also the dome. After the Mongols, we started to have two-layer domes. I mean, our domes started to have two layers, not one shell, two shell, because outside and inside, in between both of them, we have something like 1 meter or 1.5 meter, which is empty. In some mosques, they fill that with sand and soil. In some mosques, that's empty. Look like this one, which is empty. Why they did like that? First, because of the echo. It will have a good acoustic system. Now we can feel that.
Without partitioning, yes?
Yes. Second is also because of the earthquake. If earthquakes happen.
Excuse me.
You're welcome. First, the dome two-layer is because of the echo system, which is acoustic. You will have your sound more, I could say, with echo. Second, because of the earthquake. If earthquakes happens, the outer layer will have cracks, but inner layer will be completely safe for smaller earthquakes. For bigger ones, definitely both of them will damage. This is somehow anti-earthquake on its time. That's why they started to make in two layers.
So the aqueous characteristic is actually good for saying
call to pray.
Yeah,
exactly,
and also
azan, exactly. And also for the speech. If the mullah, I mean the person for the religious things, if he wants to speak without a microphone, this will really helps him to speak to the people. And now I will speak about the tiles here that you can see. Here is quite in a good condition. I mean, after the earthquake, it left original. How we can understand this is original? Because the tiles are in a darker color. It means they're original. This is lighter, means that's restored. This is darker, means original. About the details, first of all, we can see the lotus flowers everywhere. We can see 2 cypress trees here, which is also holy in Islamic culture. This we have the cypress tree in Zoroastrian religion and also Muslim religion. Both religions that's very holy. 3 type of handwriting. I mean Kufi, Nastaliq, Souls. We can see all different variety of them here. For example, on top of the cypress tree, that is square shape, is the Kufi one, which is the oldest type of handwriting, calligraphy. The white ones there, which we have a white one, that part and this part, these are kind of souls. And normal Nastaliq shape of calligraphy, which is lower one, we can see everywhere. And Mokarnas, that part, we call that corner, which we have in every mosque, every places, holy places normally, Mokarnas. That Mokarnas made with 2 purposes. One is because of mathematical I could say formulation, because when they want to make a dome, they have to have this type of mokarnas as a mathematical rules, not to collapse easily. That would be more powerful for the dome. Second, it has a religious meaning. You can see this type of mokarnas in the churches, in the other places as well, because the meaning of that, all the details, all the creatures, everything, one day will finish on the ending, on the top, which is God. End of the world, we go to the one thing, which is the God. And that's same in Muslim religion, in Christian, in all religions that we are believing on that. Well, here also, I want to show the difference between from the first part and here, which is the top section over there. Everywhere on the top of this complex, I mean lower part we had the marbles, but the up part everywhere, the top part of that was covered with this color and this tiles. These color made from the lapis lazuli stone. They made the powder of the lapis lazuli stone and just made these tiles, which is unique in the world. Because in every mosque we can see this color in small places, but not all totally covered with these type of I can say lapis lazuli stone. The color and also the flowers in it look like the golden patterns that's made with the water of gold. They're also original. Unfortunately, most of the damages after the earthquake, because we had the parts of these tiles on the floor, look like that one back there. We had them on the floor, but because they had a gold in them, unfortunately people damaged them or just try to carry them to their houses to take out the gold part and just sell it. That's why we lost the original part of the here. But originally, that section which I can see over there, showing the golden section and also original lapis lazuli section, which we had everywhere in this complex. Well, second part, which is the private part of the complex or mansion. This part was totally different from the public part, which we saw before. This was built and made for the king himself. We had a big wooden door there, which was closed, and all the time when the king and the family wanted to join people, pray with them or speak with them and visit the people, they opened the gates and they could come inside. And the people could come inside, and also the family of the king was here. And also lower there, underground, we have the tomb of the king and also the wife down there, which was built by these 2 people. I mean, both of them paid for that actually. Here, as a view of decoration, is totally different from the first one. If you look at these tiles and that shape over there on the top, These are totally different from the first part, which made with the lapis lazuli stone. I mean, they made the powder of the lapis lazuli stone and made these tiles here. We have the bricks. On the bricks, they put the, we call that saruj. That's a kind of old type of cemento or cement. And then they put or stick the tiles that we can see up there with a different color, very dark blue color there. All this part, lower part, was marbles, as you see everywhere. And the top part was that type of color and that type of tiles that we can see up there. These marbles down here was carried from something around 90 kilometers far from Tabriz, Azershah to here. They are one piece, as you see, very heavy. On the floor also, we had these marbles. And on the top, as I told you, this type of color, which is really amazing and unique in the world. Any mosque all over the world, we don't have this type of color everywhere. We have parts of this color, but not everywhere with this blue color. If it was not damaged by the earthquake, we could see totally different complex here in this place.
Yeah, something that is very interesting for me is that I think there was a warm relationship, close relationship between the king and the people.
Sure.
That the people could easily come to the place where the king lived, and they could say prayers together. Yeah. They could talk to each other.
It shows the friendship between him and the family. Because in different periods, some kings were very good in Iranian history, actually, and they had actually good connections with the people, like this person also. He tried to make a mansion for himself, but made that part too complex. One is for the people, one part for himself, being together, not just alone for himself. Look like here, as you see. Still now, if someone wants to pray, we can come and pray here, but we don't have a group pray here now, because that's a museum, and we don't have a group pray in this complex.
Thank you.